Hi, this is Naomi with Sword and Steel, and today we are going to be checking out this new Lord of Hubris model for Hedonites of Slaanesh for Age of Sigmar, and we are going to be checking out how he's assembled from start to finish, taking a look at him once he's all done, and in the meantime, as you're watching him being assembled, I'm going to be reading out his Warscroll and chatting about that as we go along, so I hope you enjoy. Now, Games Workshop gave me this model early. It's not out yet, but it will be out next Saturday at the time of the video. Alright, the Lord of Hubris. Keywords are Chaos, Hedonites of Slaanesh, Mortal, Slaanesh, Hero, and Lord of Hubris. A Lord of Hubris is armed with an exquisite scimitar. He has 5 wounds, 6-inch movement, a 5+ save, and a 7 bravery. So that's much the same as the Lord of Pain at the moment, except for his saving throw is 1 worse. His exquisite scimitar has a range of 1 inch, 5 attacks, 3+ to hit, 3+ to wound, rend -1, and 2 damage. That is again the same as the Lord of Pain for anyone who's been trying out the Lord of Pain so far. However, what he does is where they have the biggest difference, even though they are the same points, at 135. You First, I Insist is his first ability. This unit has a ward of 4+. That means whenever you wound or mortal wound him on a 4+, that wound or mortal wound is negated. So that's a 50% chance of negating all wounds, which is what makes the rest of this ability pretty cool. Daring, but cool. I really like it. Okay, so this unit has a ward of 4+. In addition, at the end of the charge phase, you can pick one enemy unit within 1 inch of this unit and say that the Lord of Hubris will give them the chance to strike first. That's actually in the rules. You have to say that the Lord of Hubris will give them the chance to strike first, which I think is pretty cute. Anyway, if you do so, the strike first effect applies to that enemy unit in the following combat phase, but all of that unit's attacks must target this unit. So I think this is a really nice ability. It's aggroing your enemy, so they have to attack this little lord rather than anything else that they might want to attack instead. And since he has a 50% chance of negating all of the wounds, he's got a pretty good chance, depending on what he chooses, to survive this strike first effect. If you're not familiar with the strike first effect, it just means that they will get to attack first in the combat, where normally you might be able to choose a unit to attack first. His second ability is Only the Best Will Suffice. At the start of the combat phase, you can pick one friendly Myrmidesh Painbringers or Sigmar Twin Souls unit fully within 12 inches of any friendly units with this ability. If you do so until the end of that phase, each time a model in that unit is slain, it can fight immediately, then it is removed from play. So they get a free fight as they're dying. I particularly think I'd like to use the Sigmar Twin Souls rather than the Myrmidesh Painbringers with this Lord of Hubris. Either or can become battle line with the Lord of Hubris or the Lord of Pain, but I particularly like the Sigmar Twin Souls as a matchup to this one. The Sigmar Twin Souls subtract 1 from attacks characteristics of melee weapons used by enemy units to a minimum of 1 while they are within 3 inches of the Sigmar Twin Souls, and I like that because it reduces further the amount of damage that your Lord of Hubris would take. Just seems like a really nice combination. You should let me know what you think, but I really like that combination. So he's got the 2 abilities. You First, I Insist, which allows you to aggro an enemy unit towards him and negate half of his damage. And in case you didn't notice, it's in addition at the end of the charge phase. So you can choose this to happen on both your turn and on their turn. He will continually cause them to attack him. I think that's really great, a great tactical advantage. If anyone's played MMOs and can understand the advantage of a tank aggroing all of the enemies, you'll understand. I think that is really cool that they've added that ability in. And of course, allowing your Sigmar Twin Souls to fight extra if they were slain, that's great too. If for some reason you wanted to take off the first effect, then the second effect could be applied, and it's just the enemy has to make bad decisions on whether they choose to fight him or to fight the twin souls and get more of the models slain. I just think it's a great combination. That's all I have to say. Now we're just gonna have a look at him now. I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's a great looking model. Very straightforward to put together, tiny pieces, so if you struggle at putting tiny pieces to a model, you're going to need some tweezers to get it on there. I did change around a little bit how I assembled it. For example, you probably noticed that I attached the two pieces of the head together and then attached them to the body. I found that easier. You do want to wait for one part to dry just a little bit before you go on to the next bit, but everything fits together super well, straightforward to put together. There's a lot of curves and all that, so you want to have a nice sharp knife, and you probably want to turn over your knife to shave off a little bit so you don't take too much away. And there was an irritating part where it had a sprue piece right in the middle of his arm. That was a bit frustrating. Well, I'm accustomed to it, but it could be frustrating to newer people to try and take that off without gouging. So be very careful, make certain your knife is sharp, and then shave away the excess after you've gotten it basically down to where you want it by turning the knife over and shaving away the rest, or using one of their mold line removers, or sanding, whichever you like, but just be careful of that arm. I like the base he's on, and as you can see, he is completely separate from his base when you're assembling him, so you could put him somewhere else. I think he's a great model, and I would use him in Warcry and Age of Sigmar, as I do seem to be having a slowly growing Hedonites of Slaanesh army, because I really like the new models. Don't so much like assembling demonettes. I really hope they get an upgrade on their sprue. It's been, I don't know how long since they've had new models. I am ready for the new models, but I really enjoy the look of all of these recent models. Besides the glutton, who creeps me out, but everyone else is super cool looking. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make certain to like and subscribe if you did. Comment below if you had any questions or concerns or anything like that about this model. As I said, I like the model. It keeps growing on me. I'm not certain the lore-wise how smart it is to just walk into combat when you're dealing with monsters and not just other humans or humanoids. But that's definitely a Slaaneshi thing to do, so I dig him. You let me know what you think. Okay, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye! Thank you to all the patrons out there supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. It helps. It makes me feel good. It lets me know that people find my videos useful, and I really appreciate your support. I do really like the look of these new Slaaneshi models. I'm happy that I'm growing a Slaaneshi army from last year's battleforce for Christmas is what I have them, and I think a couple other ones, but mostly I have last year's battleforce, which was all new models for Slaanesh. It's a really nice battleforce, and just really liking the aesthetic for the Slaanesh. I think a lot of girls do as well. They were pretty. We like pretty. So I found. Okay, bye.